Have you ever tried to reinvent yourself? How does one actually become that girl? Today, we're going to be talking about a few things that I have done to increase my confidence and to get me closer to the highest version of myself. Okay. So, first and foremost, the first thing that I really had to hone in on was my personal image. And I talk about personal image a lot because you guys, identity, personal image is literally at the foundation of everything, right? If we don't have a secure and strong self image, if we don't think highly of ourselves, then it just goes downhill from there, right? And so, what is personal image? It's how we see ourselves, and it's also tied to how other people see us as well. And so, really getting, adopting a higher sense of self is going to be super, super helpful, whatever that means for you. I've talked about this before. I think that was like on episode 1, where I really gained my confidence through my spiritual journey, just getting closer to God, finding my confidence through Him. And so that was for me personally. And so, however you want to increase your personal image and how you see yourself, whether it's fixing the way you talk about yourself, our words are so, so powerful, right? And then the second part of personal image is how other people see you. And so personal image, super, super important. But I always tell people, I've mentored a lot of people, whether it was in past businesses, the community that I have now, there is one thing that has completely grown my confidence. And whenever I start to slip, I just get right back on it. And I just feel like, I really do feel like that girl. And y'all, that is a morning routine. A morning routine. I promise you, if you start incorporating a morning routine into your life, things will start to shift. And here's the thing though, I am going to tell you like the science behind why I think you can really change your life with just a morning routine. So basically, the highest form of like personal image, highest form of self-love is actually discipline, right? The highest form of self-love is discipline, keeping the commands that we give ourselves, right? And so the reason why a lot of people's confidence falls off is because we aren't keeping the commands that we're giving ourselves. We say, hey, I'm going to work out 3 to 5 times a week. Hey, I'm going to eat healthier. Hey, I'm going to do this. Hey, I'm going to do that. And then we don't do it. And what that does is we start to lose confidence in our word. And so a morning routine, what it does is it helps you keep the commands that you're actually giving yourself. And so I'm going to actually share with you how I was able to master a morning routine, because so many people think that they can't do it, right? And you absolutely can. It's all about forming new habits that are more in alignment with the person that you want to be, right? The version of yourself that you want to become, what habits does she have? Right? Does she wake up early? Does she wake up late? How does she dress? Right? All types of things. What car does she drive? And so the key to really becoming that girl is to figure out what attributes, what characteristics, what habits does that girl have, and then embody those same habits. So I know the highest version of myself. I know we have a morning routine, right? I know we are super disciplined. I know that the highest version of myself keeps the commands that I give myself. Okay. And so, and then just to show you how this trickles down, especially for those in business, and this is just a personal story. When I used to be in network marketing, I was having a lot of trouble just in my business, right? Like there was, not much conversion. Like I just felt everything was off. Like I was having no success, to keep it short. All right. I wasn't having a lot of success. And I was on a mentorship call or reading some book, but basically heard the phrase, how you do one thing is how you do everything. Right. And so start taking inventory of how you show up in different areas of your life. Right. If you have a job and you're always late, or you show up unorganized, or, just looking a mess, I want you to identify those things and then see if you find patterns in other areas of your life, right? So for me, I found, okay, business isn't going well. I found that I was lazy in certain areas of my life, and that trickled down into my business. And so, I would try to be disciplined here, or, I would try to do this. And because I wasn't like that all around, those same habits trickle down into my business, leaving me unsuccessful. And so again, how you do one thing is how you do everything. If you want to be more consistent, if you want to be more disciplined in your business, you have to then start in your personal life. You have to start in your personal life. And so something as simple as a morning routine just seems so minute, just so irrelevant. But I'm telling you, what it does is it keeps you disciplined and it keeps you consistent. And how you do one thing is how you do everything. So if you start to master this morning routine, what's going to happen is you're going to start mastering and being more disciplined with other areas of your life, your business included, right? And so how do you create this morning routine? A lot of times people hear, oh, you have to get up, super early. And I'm not going to lie to you. I was very much a person who had this limiting belief that I was like, I cannot wake up early. Like, I'm just not a morning riser. I like to, work at night. And I fully, firmly believed that. And it wasn't until I just did some shifting, right? I just did some mindset shifting. And I was like, you know what? If I want to wake up early, I absolutely can, right? And now I used to wake up at 4:30 a.m. And when I was like a couple years ago, I used to wake up, actually like a year ago, I used to wake up at 4:30, was out of the house by 4:45, going to the gym. Right. And I did that for a very, very long time. I had no issue with it at all. Like it wasn't a big deal. Like it wasn't depriving me of anything. I felt, super productive. Right. I just got lots and lots of things done. However, I'm in like this new phase of life, and I'm just like, the highest version of me, I don't want to get up that early. Right. And so now I've moved it to like 5. So I'm like, for some reason, I just feel like I need an extra 30 minutes of sleep. But that's neither here nor there. But I'm going to help you. If you do not think that you can wake up early, I promise you, you absolutely can. Right. So I used to work at Enterprise Rent a Car for many, many years. And when I was in Atlanta, Georgia, I had a manager. Shout out to Dawson. I had a manager who, he was a stickler on time. And before he came in, people would just be showing up whenever they wanted to. And this is when I had a very hard time with time. I literally lived 7 minutes away from my job, but I was late like every day. And so when he came in, he literally had this new rule and was like, hey, anybody who is late, you have to take your lunch then and there. And I was like, no, we work like 7 to 7. There is like no way that I'm going to be coming in and then having to take my lunch and then work the whole day. Like that's absolutely not happening. And I kid you not, everybody had been late. And for me personally, him incorporating that rule, it like literally cured my lateness. I kid you not. I was literally never late again. After he put that stipulation, I got up and I was like, wow. And as I started going on my personal development journey, there were times when I was in Atlanta that I woke up at like 4:30, actually went to the gym. before I had to be to work at 7:15. So I'm here to tell you this. It is absolutely possible for you to wake up earlier if you desire to wake up. Even if you're starting work at 7, 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, you can have a whole day before you even get to work, right? And so how you can start training your body is by literally training your body. So first and foremost, pick a time that you desire to wake up. Say for you, it's 5 o'clock. But right now you're waking up at 7, 7:30 because you don't work until 9 o'clock. Right. So what you would want to do if you desire to wake up at 5 o'clock, you're going to start training your body. See, a lot of people feel discouraged because they feel like they have to go from 7:30 to 5 o'clock overnight. No, you have to train your body. All right. You have to train your body. And so here's how you do it. For say you're used to waking up at 7, 7:30. What you're going to do when you're trying to wake up earlier is you are now going to set your alarm for 30 minutes earlier. And you're going to do that consecutively for 5 to 7 days. Right? You're going to do that for 5 to 7 days. So say you're used to waking up at 7:30 now, and you could do either 30 minutes or an hour. But when you're just starting out, like you're absolutely not a morning riser, I would probably start with 30-minute increments, right? So say you're used to waking up at 7:30. Now you're going to set your alarm for 7 a.m. And for and starting at 7 a.m. for the next 3 to 5 days, you are going to wake up at 7 a.m. every single day. Now, when 7 a.m. is kind of like a piece of cake to you and you're like, oh, okay, this isn't so bad, you're going to drop another 30 minutes. Now you're going to do 6:30, and you're going to do the same thing for, 3 to 5 days. You're going to set your alarm for 6:30. And when you're doing that consistently, you're going to drop it down another 30 minutes. Now you're waking up at 6 o'clock, right? You're going to do that consistently, 3 to 5 days. Now, by this time, maybe now drop it down to by an hour. Now try 5 o'clock, right? And and then when you do it, if it's super difficult, go to 5:30, and you're going to do that consistently for 3 to 5 days, right? And then drop it down to 5. A lot of people get discouraged because, again, they think that they have to, go from 7:30 to 5 o'clock for them to be this superpower. No, you literally have to train your body. What are you in a rush for? Right? Like you're not in competition with absolutely anybody. So do what works for you. Right. So if you are trying to gain more of your day, if you're trying to become an early riser, just start training your body. Right. Just start training your body. And what I would like to do, what I did do, is I started with 3 things that was a part of my morning routine. So you're going to start with 3 things. So number 1, it might be, okay, I'm going to wake up at 5 a.m. Right? Number 2, it might be, okay, I want to meditate for 5 minutes. Number 3, it might be, I want to write a list of all my to-dos for the day. So that's 3 things. My morning routine consisted of me waking up, me meditating, and me writing my top 3 things down. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to do that for a whole week, 7 days. You're going to do those 3 things. You're going to wake up early, you're going to meditate, and you're going to write down your top priority things. Now, insert whatever you want to insert, right? So literally can be whatever you want, but you're going to start with 3 things and you're going to track that. Now, here is the thing. You cannot miss more than 2 days. So if you miss 1 day, cool, no problem, keep it going. We're not perfect, right? But if you miss 2 days, in a week, you have to start over back from 1 of tracking, right? So if you miss 1 day, cool, no problem, keep it going. But if you miss 2, you literally have to start your week over. And so once you go through a clear 7 days, what you're then going to do is you're going to add another routine or another habit to your morning routine. right? So what are we at now? We woke up early, we meditated for 5 minutes, we wrote down our top 3 priorities. Maybe I want to journal, or maybe I want to make sure that I make time to cook breakfast, right? Again, you're just adding another habit. And what you're going to do is with now you have 4 habits. We woke up, we meditated, we wrote down our top priorities, and then we also journaled. That's 4 things. So now you're going to do a week of those 4 habits. And you literally can just do this process over and over until you get a morning routine that is desirable to you. And it could be 3 things, or it could be, up to 10 things. It really doesn't matter, just whatever floats your boat, right? And so again, all you're doing is literally training your body. You're not in competition with anybody else. You don't have to wake up at 8 o'clock and then think you have to wake up at 4. Literally train your body to creating your desired morning. Now, there is also another morning routine that I did for quite some time, and I still do a variation of this. It's called the Savers Method. And I have never personally read this book, but I've talked to many people about it. And this method is from the book Miracle Morning. And so each letter stands for something, right? So the S in Savers stands for silence. So that means you're gonna meditate for 5 to 10 minutes first thing in the morning. All right, you're gonna silence your thoughts. You're gonna pray. A is affirmation. You're gonna speak your I am statements. V is visualization. So you're gonna actually visualize what your future self is doing. What is she doing? How does her day look? E is exercise. R is read. And then S is scribe. So this is, a journal prompt, Bible study, whatever that may look like for you. And I still try to incorporate this throughout my day, even if I don't do it fully in the morning. But this is just, I feel like, a good self-care method. Silence, affirmations, visualizations, exercising, reading, and then scribing. Right? So I am telling you, if you want to master your life, you have to master your morning. You want to master business, you need to master your morning. You have to master the habits that you have in your daily life if you want those things to be exhibited in your business world as well. So that's the first thing I did to increase my confidence, getting closer to that highest version of myself, is mastering my morning. Second thing I did is I started buying cute lounge clothes. And this might seem like, this is just things that I did. So I don't know if anybody is going to relate to this. But when after I went through my really bad breakup, confidence shot, like for real. Like confidence was just on the freaking floor. And so I remember in June of last year, I actually did this challenge with myself for 30 days. And what I did was I called it I called it a confidence challenge. And, in 2020, 2021, people were at home. We had the pandemic, and, people was just always in leggings, always in loungewear. And that just became the norm. Right. But sometimes when I'm a firm believer in look good, feel good, do good. Right. And sometimes we be in these lounge clothes, our old, high school t-shirts, old sweatshirts, and we don't look our best, right? And so if we're not looking our best, how can we expect ourselves to feel good and do good? And so last June, there was a season where I was just like, I had lost it. And I was like, all right, I'm going to do this goal. I'm going to do this challenge where I'm going to get dressed every day. Because here's the thing, again, how you do one thing is how you do everything. How you're showing up in your personal life is how you're going to show up in your business. And so if you're not feeling confident, if you're not feeling your best, that is going to bleed into your business. And that's what was happening for me. I wasn't going live. I wasn't showing up. I wasn't being consistent because I didn't feel good, right? And so I did this for 30 days. What I did is I had a goal. I was like, I need to get dressed every single day. I need to get dressed in anything besides leggings, right? Or, some type of outfit that I used to wear in high school. And so that's what I did. And to take it a step further, not only did I get dressed every day, sometimes I put on a little eyeliner, put on a little lip gloss, because mind you, we were definitely still at home, right? But I also recorded myself of how I felt. And to this day, I actually still have these videos. And it sometimes it makes me cry because I've watched them a couple times and I'm just like, wow, this was super powerful, right? So what I did is every single day that I got dressed, I made a video about how it is that I felt in that moment. And every single day, you can see my confidence growing as I'm making each video. And so if anybody is in a season where they just are not feeling it, start showing up, start getting dressed, start doing your hair, right? I swear to you, it makes all of the difference. And so because I'm still at home majority of the time, I'm like, you know what? I still want to look good if I'm at home. Hence why I started buying cute loungewear, cute little set online, just so I can chill around in the house. And this has, 10x everything for me, because when I'm in these little loungewear outfits, I don't mind going live. I don't mind taking pictures. I don't mind showing my face because I feel cute, right? Even if I am in the house, I don't need to have, makeup on. I throw my hoops on. I got this little two-piece outfit on and I'm good to go. Right. I mean, we could create content for days. And so for me, that was absolutely a game changer, was just really being mindful of the things that I was wearing, because again, look good, feel good, do good. And so that's the second way. I started just, being very mindful of the things that I wore. And the last way, number 3, don't laugh at me, I started drinking tea. And there is just something about drinking hot tea that really makes me feel like that girl. And this could be insert anything for you, right? But really taking control of your health, prioritizing your health is always going to be top tier. So, I mean, this habit could literally be anything, but for me, it's drinking tea. When I pour me a cup of tea, especially spearmint tea, right? I drink me a cup of spearmint tea and I don't know. I get all 7-figure Tish vibes. I'm like, I know 7-figure Tish is walking around her house, drinking a cup of tea, right? And so tea for me is me embodying who it is that I want to be. It's me embodying my 7-figure self, right? And so just to recap, again, we went over a couple of different ways, a couple of different things that I have done to really help me increase my confidence as I continue to get closer to the highest version of myself. So number 1, master your morning, right? Start incorporating a morning routine, and I promise you, you will not be disappointed. Again, this is not something that you have to do overnight. Start making small changes. If you're waking up at 8 o'clock, start waking up at 7, right? Do that for a week and then gradually get until your desired wake up time. Number 2, I started buying cute, comfy lounge sets for me so I can still, feel good in the chill clothes that I'm wearing. And then lastly, drinking tea. Right, drinking tea. The most important thing to grasp from this is really just taking the time to sit down and think about what habits, what characteristics does the person I want to become have, right? Think about it and then start living that. And I promise you, every single day, you are going to get closer to the highest version of yourself.